Ernie Johnson. This is the NBA on 2K Sports. Glad to have you with us. Tonight we'll be watching the Utah Jazz playing against the Los Angeles Lakers. And with the game about to get underway, let's go to Kevin and the 2K Sports crew who are courtside at Staples Center.
It's a Western Conference battle here at the Staples Center in downtown Los Angeles as the Lakers look to work home court advantage. And now a quick check of our starting lineups for both teams. And one of the players we'll be seeing in this one, Kobe Bryant.
One of the elite scorers in league history, able to create space for his shot with unbelievable footwork, ball handling ability, fundamentals, and of course, unfazed by an aggressive defender.
Well, he's used to being the focal point of a defense, so that doesn't bother him at all. Never phases him. It also doesn't faze him when he misses shots. He always believes he's a shot away from going on a run, and he's always hungry for buckets.
And this game marks the start of a road trip here for the Jazz. Presently in last place in the West, this is a team searching for answers.
You know, it's been a struggle on the road for this team, and they're beginning another road trip right now.
They've got to do whatever they can to change recent history, guys, because they have not been comfortable at all on the road.
Boy, Trey Burke, Columbus's own, has been a hand-in-glove fit for the Utah Jazz. He missed the first 11 games of last season with a fractured finger, and the Jazz won just one of those 11 games. Once he was healthy, he made a big difference bringing his team back to life.
And the Jazz making a draft day trade to acquire Trey Burke, giving up the 14th and 21st picks to Minnesota. Just need to take him 9th overall.
Well, they saw a young player who dominated college basketball and seemed ready to take over their starting point guard spot from day one. I think they feel like they found their point guard of the future. This kid is really good.
Now here's Wynn. Johnson outside. For the three. No good. Lakers on D. They're moving on after the tough loss they took at the hands of the Warriors.
Well, there was a lack of discipline on their part in that game, guys. They committed a lot of silly fouls, and it hurt them.
They sure did. I mean, they just didn't seem to figure out how to defend without fouling, Steve. That was just almost hard to comprehend. You know, it's a plus to get good looks in the paint, and when you can get them, you got to score them.
Exum with it. Working on Bryant. Shot from free throw range. Misses off the left eye.
What was the defense doing there? I mean, he is not the guy to give an open look to, and yet they got away with him.
Boozer. He's covered by Favors. Boozer dishes to Hill. And the best he could.
Unselfish basketball on the interior. I love that, and you got to think the coaching staff knows too.
And there's the pass to Kendall. He dishes it to Burke. And Boozer with the ball.
They've had a cold start so far. Just 1 of 5 from the floor here early.
Here's Hill. It's good. And it's Kobe with the assist.
I'll tell you what, post play has been rock solid right off the bat.
Well, that's the key to basketball. Get the ball inside, into the paint, either with a pass or with penetration.
Now, here's Exum. Lots of room. Jump shot is good. Exum's got his first basket.
Well, I doubt that was the plan there on that trip, guys, but they did get the shot to go.
Back to Boozer. That's good.
Wow, just a tremendous first quarter shooting the basketball for them, guys.
Yeah, when they put it up, it's going in.
Let's catch up with Doris from the sideline.
Kevin, I had a chance to catch up with Quinn Snyder. When talking about who they'll be most concerned with on the other side, he laughed a little and asked, "You mean other than Kobe?" He said that it's an almost futile effort to try and sell Kobe because he can score in so many different ways, saying, really, all we can try and do is prevent him from getting into a rhythm and try to force him into tough shots. Guys?
Thanks again, Doris.
Kobe Bryant in his 19th season in the league. And remember, he's played in 220 career playoff games. That's almost 3 additional seasons worth of games. When you factor in his play with Team USA, he's got a lot of mileage on his legs.
And Kobe Bryant, top 5 in all-time minutes played.
And Kevin, you know those minutes add up, but he's found ways to overcome the wear and tear and still remain effective. His great skill level and ability to make tough contested shots remains valuable.
Just 5 to shoot. Exum. And there's the call by the official. They'll count the basket here following the goaltending call.
for the block, but that one's going to count.
Fans don't like that call one bit.
Well, the officials got an earful as a result.
Then the pass to Johnson. No good. And Utah the other way now. They come into this having outplayed the Clippers last game.
They ran away with that game, mostly thanks to their play at the offensive end.
That's exactly right, guys. There was crisp movement by the players and the ball throughout that game, and they got a lot of high-quality shots as a result.
Hayward kicks to Exum. Rebound by Johnson.
His touch has disappeared on him this quarter. He just hasn't been able to get it going.
And the basket by Hill.
That lead pass allowed him to get straight to the hoop without losing any momentum.
Burke kicks to Kansas. And he was fouled on the way out. 2 free throws now for him.
Cantor, originally from Turkey, so no promise offensively. He scores well on that left block, and he does a nice job on the offensive boards as well. At times he's even shown the ability to step out and space the floor. It'll be interesting to see how his game develops.
And Cantor not a big leaper or shot, but his strength serves him well defensively.
Yeah, he's a good post defender, Kevin, because of those attributes. He holds his ground and has the length to bother and challenge shots. Well, the Jazz really struggled last season. Maybe the worst defensive team in the league, and they weren't a lot better offensively. Some of that you have to attribute to you. And quite honestly, it's impressive they were able to win as many games as they did under the circumstances.
And it's Kobe missing.
The defense was ready for him that time, and they had to be. He is so powerful in the lane.
And Carlos Boozer gets the whistle that time. That'll be his second foul of the game.
Already his second foul. He's in danger of getting into very serious foul trouble early in this game.
And the Lakers making a change here. Davis is checked in. Now here's Favors. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one. Count that one. And you look at the free throw attempts for the Jazz. Steve, last season, their lowest number in decades.
Well, driving inside and getting to the line is normally a staple for Jazz teams in years past. So you have to think that they're looking to get back to that this season.
Here's Johnson after Alec Burks has scored for 3. Shot is off.
Nobody near him. He'll normally make that one.
Burke kicks to Favors. It's going by Hill. And pushing it up. Here's Los Angeles. And it's Johnson that time on the assist by Hill. 6 points for Johnson.
Pretty much been the norm for them. Getting the points off assists. Great ball move.
Nice rhythm and flow for this team. Tremendous communication and alertness.
A 3-point game, such a big part of the NBA. I'd see the best teams at it. In third, the Lakers.
That's been an amazing season for them from behind the arc. They've got some great shooters on that team.
And so it's Utah here with the ball. 8-point game. He feeds it to Burks. Takes the lead pass. And Favors kicks to Burke. And it's sent back by Hill.
Right from the start, they've been aggressive on the glass. Most of the rebounds seem to be going their way.
And Steve, I think they are ready for the fight today.
And a breakdown here, guys. The hustle stats for the Lakers.
You know, they've done a great job of getting a hand up on shooters. Actually, have gotten a lot of blocks as well, solidifying that defensive effort.
And they're getting out in transition, too, finding some easy points on the fast break.
Here's Burke after Wesley Johnson's bucket. Passes it to Burke. 4 on the shot clock. And Davis sings it back.
Well, he hasn't had much success shooting the ball, but it's not too late for him to get it turned around and start contributing.
When they go to the intentional foul.
I have no idea why he was fouling there.
And even the foul, I mean, you can't be wrapping guys up like that. I mean, it just doesn't make any sense. That's a meaningless play.
averaging 13 points a contest. Pass to Novak. Blanketed by the D. He fights to the rim for the layup.
He's so dominant in the low post. You just can't let him get the ball in there so tight.
Too easy. It was really simple for him to go to work there.
Well, Ed Davis, in his 5th season out of North Carolina, he's had to battle for minutes both in Toronto and Memphis, but has produced when he's been on the court. An active, athletic big man. He's a player to watch.
And Davis with good mobility for his size. Offensively, Clark, he can run in transition, flash to the basket. At the other end, he's a good help defender.
Yeah, and bit by bit, Kevin, we see him developing his post game as well. Starting to broaden out that skill set. Still only 20 years old. Come on, man. He's got a lot left in his development. Well, the Lakers are in another one of those transition stages, and they've not had many in the history of the franchise. But they do need to start looking for that next superstar to build the team with.
Now here's Kobe. He's got 5. Novak grabs the board. And here we go. Fast break. Los Angeles leading by 4. Smooth as silk on the finger roll. 7 points for Kobe Bryant.
As you said, Kobe's starting to get to the age where you just don't know how many years he has left, especially with all the injuries. And the Lakers need to look now at who's going to lead them in the future.
Now, here's Burks, averaging 14 points a game. Outside Hill. Pass to Davis. Johnson outside. Kicks it to Lynn. Outside Lynn. Johnson from outside. They get it back. And stolen by Hood. And now it's Burks running. He can go all the way. Rips down the breakaway slam. And a breakdown here, guys. The hustle stats for the Jazz.
So their frenetic defense has really been impressive, putting a lot of pressure on ball handlers and turning them over.
They also came out of the locker room with their running shoes on. I mean, their transition game has been full throttle.
Adding on to that thought about the Lakers, Clark, they have seemingly always had one of the top players in the entire league to build on.
Yeah, that's always been one of their key pillars to success. Magic, Wilt, Gary, but I mean, you go on Elgin Baylor, and they thought they might have had Dwight Howard, but now they're in a bit of a search to find the leader to take over once Kobe is gone. Well, with the Jazz playing much better basketball coincided with the return of rookie point guard Trey Burke from injury. Despite the fact they would have wanted a higher pick, it's really kind of nice to see their young core competing at a high level.
Now here's Kobe, knocks it loose. Right through the knee for the win. Kobe's got 9. And it's Utah's ball. They're on a 12-4 run right now. And the Jazz lost 10 of 11 games to start the season, but once Burke returned from that broken finger, as he proved to be one of the more NBA-ready rookies.
No surprise from a player who won pretty much every National College Player of the Year award at Michigan his sophomore season. They traded up to get him, and he's been a great fit. And they forced the miss with that good defensive rotation. They're playing well together as a unit.
Davis, a feather touch on the finger roll. Beautiful. Now it's a 6-point Laker lead. Jazz shooting the ball to the tune of 41% from the field so far. Burke dishes to Nova. And the pass to Hood.
Oh my gosh.
Sends it back. And it's the Lakers on the break. Davis has got the ball. Kobe passes to Davis. And it's out of bounds. The Lakers able to retain possession here. As the playoffs near, let's take a look at the Western Conference standings. Look at the Lakers. It's been a rough season for them. The good news is the lottery is only a couple months away. And checking out Utah, they're looking to salvage what they can of the season.
Checking out Los Angeles, they've been as flat as they can be this season. It might be time, not just for some lineup changes, but a major overhaul.
Yeah, you might be right, Clark, because you can see that there's no spark to this club. Nothing seems to be clicking. So I wouldn't be surprised if we saw some big changes.
Jazz trailed by 6. Hood kicks to Burke. Trying to break that ice-cold streak. Los Angeles is gone just 1 of 4 from three-point range here in the first. Johnson attacking. It's back to Hill. Davis. Outside, Kobe. Lynn dishes to Johnson. Second shot opportunity. Hill passes to Lynn. It's back to Hill. Goes up again. And 3 chances on that possession, but they just couldn't find a way to score. Burks kicks to Burke. 41 seconds left in the first quarter. And Hill with the block.
In terms of rebounding, it's been a sensational opening quarter.
I like sensation. That's a good word for it.
Kobe with the bucket.
And now we can see them really working it inside.
Taking advantage of the defense, really pounding it down low.
Now here's Burke. The dish to Burks. Trying to get back on track. No good from Booker. Now Davis. 8-point game. Lynn. That's in there. Davis with the assist.
I couldn't have dreamt of a much better start than what they've had here today.
Everything's worked, especially offensively, and what a lead they have already to show for it.
Here's Burke. Johnson with the block. That will count. Can't get it to go. And an overpowering first quarter effort. Already a double-digit advantage. Lakers ahead. They're up by 10. Live from the Staples Center, you're watching 2K Sports.